Gani, as he was fondly called, died on September the 5th, 2009, after a prolonged battle with lung cancer at the age of 71. He may be gone, but his legacy will most probably be an integral part of the nation's history for future generations.
Welcome back. Now, before we go on, let's take you down memory lane. We visited some state-owned libraries in Lagos State and also a library in Mainz, Germany. It's called the Jan Library for African Literature. Please enjoy this.
People to come around to read, and because this place is a public library, it cuts across anybody that wants to read. We have children's section and we have adult section, and we have old people that come around to read dailies or ask queries about the library or any information, which we provide for them.
Can you please explain to us the structure of the libraries in Nigeria generally?
Well, as you know, this is a federation. The federal, the state, and the local government. At the national level, there's a national level. At the state level, there's a library board which is supposed to oversee the development of libraries in the state. At the local government too, they have their own structures, and they have libraries being overseen by local government officials. So the 3 tiers of libraries in Nigeria were supposed to actually spread library services within the country. We, in the state, we are trying our best to spread it. For example, as I said, we have 11 libraries within the state. We are also supposed to oversee the development of school libraries. We are supposed to train personnel of school libraries and even the local governments if they seek our assistance. We are also supposed to set up libraries, even for the ministries. All the ministries, if they desire to have libraries, it is our job to set up libraries for them and train their staffs who will manage the libraries.
How do the public libraries in Lagos State operate? Are they free? Do people have to pay?
Well, for the Lagos State Library Board, in line with the state government's policy, it is free education. So in the state library board, you don't pay anything to do that services. You just walk into any of the libraries. All you need to have is your ID card. You walk in and you can use our facilities. Even when you want to borrow, all we will need is just a guarantor. It is also still free, but there will be a guarantor because we want to be sure that you will return our books when they are supposed to be returned, when they are due. That is all. It is still free. Nobody will take a cover from you. This is just to encourage everybody to read and use the library services in the state.
Can you please share with us some statistics with regards to libraries? How many readers, how many volumes of books, and so on?
Thank you very much. As I said, we have 11 libraries. As at December 2012, the library board has 168,812 volumes of books. 177,573 people visited our libraries, all the 11 libraries. You can read that. 138,000 books, 138,721 books were read by the people who visited our libraries. And as at last year, we had 698 new readers. These are people who want to borrow our books for home reading. 698 of them. Those are the basic statistics.
How would you describe the state of the libraries in Lagos State?
We are trying to develop library services in the state. We may not have enough money, but with the little we have, we are trying to develop library services in the state. For example, all the 11 libraries, we have provided computers. internet enabled. So that when you get to the library, apart from reading, you can actually go on the internet. The only thing is that you will need to inform the librarian to assist you, because we don't want unnecessary, unauthorized use of internet in our libraries. The Yahoo thing, which we try to prevent. But every library is internet enabled, and we have books on every subject. As you know, it's a public library, from medicine to carpentry. We cater for everybody.
What are your greatest needs and concerns with regards to improving the libraries in Lagos State?
As in every organization, we want more books. We want more equipment. Computers, they are not enough. The staffing too. We want more staff. The greatest problem actually now is staffing. As you know, new universities are springing up everywhere. They need librarians. And so the library board has a big problem. They are poaching. It is poaching. Because when I train my staff, they just come in and take them because they offer them bigger pay. So I still have to start all over again. And they still come in and poach. Actually, it is not their fault. The pay they have over there is far better than what they will pay in government. And that is why nobody will stay where he will get a better pay. He will move on. So that is the greatest problem I have. But we are coping. We are coping.
Thank you very much, sir, for your time. We appreciate you. Thank you for your time.
History can be described as the capture of a people's journey through time and are usually stored in books. But beyond the capture of historical events in book form is the preservation of memory. And there are those who travel far and wide to gather relics for this purpose. At the Johannes Gutenberg University in Mainz, Germany, is the Institute of Anthropology and African Studies, which is home to a special library. The Jan Library is one of the earliest and most comprehensive research facilities for African literatures in Europe and beyond.
Hello, nice to meet you. Please come in, hello.
The director of the library welcomes the team with a lesson on its beginnings.
I'm so pleased to meet you, and I'll show you the library and explain a few things about the collection and the history of the library. This man whom you see here on the poster, his name is Jan-Heinz Jahn. In 1950, he attended a lecture on poetry by black writers. And that lecture really changed his life, because on that night he decided that he just loved this poetry that he heard. And so from that day he started to collect more poetry, novels, creative writing by black writers from all over the world, and many African countries as well. He started to translate them into German, and the first result of his work was an anthology called Schwarze Orpheus.
Its collection comprises creative writing from Africa in more than 80 languages, including classics in African literature and locally produced literature.
So now we're in the heart of the Jan Library, and we're in the West African section. Here you find creative writing by West African writers who have chosen to write in English. This is all of that section. You find some older texts as well as some fairly recently published novels and plays and poetry. And in this section we also have creative writing published in a number of West African languages.
Even in the book, in the book, he has thick eyebrows and then white nose and then.
And the girls have questions of their own.
There's so many books. Is there a single country in Africa that you don't have a literature on?
That is a really interesting question. I'm not sure. From some countries we may only have one single novel, or there are also some languages which we may only have one single title in. But I'm not sure that there is one country we don't have one single book in.
Like the founder of this library, I'd like to know the author of the poem he really got interested in.
Oh, that was not one single poem, but the lecture that he listened to in 1950 was presented by a Senegalese writer. That was Léopold Sédar Senghor, who later became the president of Senegal. And he was very modest. He did not even present his own poetry. He was a big writer, a very famous writer, but he didn't present his own poetry, but poetry by other black writers that he liked. And some of them were in French, most of them were in French, but others were actually in Senegalese languages, like Wolof or Syria. So it was just the general idea of that poetry, which to Jan Heinz Jahn in the 1950s seemed very different, but still so vibrant and so deep, full of meaning. And he wanted to sort of communicate that meaning to a German readership. That's why he started translating it for German readers.
This library is in the university, so are students allowed to come here and take books out to read?
In fact, every semester I alone teach 3 seminars on African literatures, different subjects, and each semester there are about 100 students who then read novels on different subjects. And the courses include titles like 20th century African literature, or Introduction to African Literatures, or Yoruba literature and film adaptations. That are some of the titles. But we also have thematic courses like literary cityscapes or civil war in African literature and topics like that.
So they know how to read the West African languages, most of them?
No. The titles in West African languages, that is quite specialized, and so you would have to learn the languages first, and not many have that competence. Some know a little bit of Yoruba, some may know a little bit of Swahili, an Eastern African language, but most of them read the Anglophone and Francophone texts.
The collection also holds translations, film adaptations of literary works and audiobooks, as well as a large number of critical sources and academic journals.
I hope you have enjoyed today's show. Please be encouraged to visit any public library around you. And better still, build a small library in your home. And don't forget you can join us on any of our social media platforms displayed on your screen. My name is Olakunle Kasumu. Remember, one great book can change your life. Bye-bye.